Hi there, in this video I want to look at finding cheap long-term accommodation in Thailand. So I'm in Phuket at the moment and this is high season. I'm still only paying $180 a month for my apartment. It's a one-room apartment really, but two sections. It's got a big king-size bed, aircon, a desk for working in, and you've got internet. It's only 1 year old and I'm only paying $180 a month, which I think is a real bargain. Now, my first tip is don't book over the internet. I met a guy a little while back and he was paying nearly $1,000 a month for an apartment. Yes, it was in a better area than I am, but it wasn't that much bigger or anything like that. So there's a lot of difference if you're in a tourist area and where I am is out of a tourist area. So the first thing, don't book through the internet. And another reason why not to book through the internet is you really do want to have a look at it first, because it might look great on the internet and then you get there and you realize that it's next to a disco or it's some construction next to it. So you really do want to go there. You want to check it in the daytime and you want to check it at night time and just check for noise, because there's not really the restrictions. In England, you wouldn't be able to have noise at night, but over here, 2 o'clock in the morning, it's still allowed. So that's a good reason for doing it offline. And another reason is you want to check the price of electric, because there's a big difference. It can range from about 4 baht a unit to about 9 baht a unit, which is quite a low price. But if you've got the aircon all day, if you're working in the room and you've got the aircon all day, then it will make a big difference. Maybe the difference between 1,000 baht, which is $30, and it could be up to $90. So just something to think about. And another thing, if you're in a room that's near the roof, then if it's sunny all day, you can, if the roof is only thin, sometimes you can feel the heat on your head. And I've been in an apartment like that. So these are some things you want to check. So let's first of all kind of look at the bigger picture, what areas in the country. And it also depends on tourism. If you're up in the north in Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, then it tends to be cheaper. It's a kind of cheaper area of the country, not so many tourists, so the price tends to be less. If you're in Phuket or one of the islands like Koh Samui, it is more difficult to find cheap accommodation, because most of it is a tourist area. Most of Phuket is, and most of Koh Samui is. But you still can find areas, but just look on the map, find out where the main tourist areas are, and just get somewhere maybe 5 kilometers away, something like that. So if you look at the whole country, the north is cheaper than the beaches in the south. They're more expensive, and the islands are more expensive. And then within each area, just get away from the tourist areas. So the next tip here is not just the tourist areas, but get away from the main roads. And it's also good that it'll be quieter, but the main roads have the big signs and people drive past and they say, oh, look, there's accommodation. Let's go and find out about it. Let's go and ring them up. What you can do is go down these small alleys, they're called sois, go down those and look for some. Quite often you'll have a small condominium or something with a notice board on it, and you'll have a telephone number. Just make a note of the number, ring them up, and then go and have a look. And that's what I've done. And definitely, even maybe 2 months ago when I got this one, I was looking in Rawai, which is fairly touristy area. I saw a sign, I went in and it was 24,000 baht for a month, and that was on the main road. I went down a couple of small alleys, which was less than, maybe it was 1 kilometer away, something like that, down these alleys, and there was a place and it was brand new, and that was 8,000 a month. And the first one wasn't even new, whereas the second one was brand new. That was 8,000 a month. So I found those two, but I'd also actually, by that time, seen this other one. And this other one is in Chalong, which is not a tourist area. There are a lot of foreigners living there, but mostly they stay there for a long time. And it's a cheaper area because it's not tourists. And that was 6,000 baht a month. So it was less, and it just seemed nicer to me. So I like it. And I also like it because it's not in a tourist area, but you've got the beaches in every direction. You can go south to these beaches, Rawai and Naihan, or west to Kata and Karon, and you can go north to the shopping centres. So it's a good location, I think so. So that's the other thing. The last thing I really want to say is about the length of stay. If you come here and you're looking for a great deal on 1 week, they won't be interested really. If you look around for an apartment and you say, oh, I want an apartment for 1 week, they'll say, sorry, 1 month minimum. And that's really the thing. If I stay somewhere for less than a month, I won't bother looking around. I'll just book it online because that will tend to be cheaper. But if I'm looking for somewhere more than a month, like 6 weeks, 2 months, or longer than that, then I will look around for it and I'll definitely find a better deal. Some people might want a 3-month minimum, and the last place that I stayed before this, they wanted a 3-month minimum. But this guy, he said 1 month minimum, and I said, okay, 6 weeks, then it can line up with my visa. And he was happy with that. So I've done 6 weeks, and I've got to do a visa run. I'll come back and maybe get another 2 months. But also don't book for a year, don't book for 6 months, because what if you change your plan or you want to go off somewhere, then you're kind of stuck. You've booked this thing. So I'll tend to book the minimum, which in this case was a month, but I booked 6 weeks. And then I'll just book one more month, then 1 more month, 1 more month. And they might want kind of a month in advance so that they can find somebody when you check out, but you've just got to see what they expect. So that's really about finding low-cost accommodation in Thailand. I hope you found that useful. If you did, please give this a thumbs up because that will help other people to find this video. And if you've got any questions about it, I've been traveling now for 27 years and I don't even know how many hotels I've stayed in, but it's in the hundreds. So if you've got any questions about that, then ask me below this in the comments. And if you've got your own experience about finding cheap accommodation and cheap long-term accommodation, please put that down below. This whole channel is really about giving you encouragement, incentive to do what you want in your life. But if that's traveling and working online, then I especially have lots of practical information and want to give you lots of encouragement to do that. So if that appeals to you, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.